Greetings, friends. Today we will talk about when it is best to keep your mouth shut. Stoicism teaches us wisdom and restraint. Not everything that is said must be spoken, said Marcus Aurelius. Let's go over 10 situations where silence is golden. 1. When you are provoked. The Stoics taught that one should respond to provocations calmly and with restraint. In such situations, it is better to remain silent than to engage in conflict. Imagine someone trying to provoke you. How do you usually react? Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not respond to provocations, for it makes you stronger." In such moments, it is important to remember that we only control our own reactions. Let's understand why and how to respond to provocations with intelligence and restraint. Imagine a situation. You are at work and a colleague makes a rude remark, trying to elicit a negative reaction from you. How do you respond? The first impulse is to reply in kind, but let's consider another approach. When someone tries to anger you, remember that control over your emotions belongs only to you. Seneca said, "No one can harm you as much as you harm yourself." Instead of giving in to provocations, take a deep breath and think about how you control your reactions. Think about what is truly important to you. Maintaining dignity and calm is much more valuable than the fleeting satisfaction of an emotional outburst. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Sometimes people provoke us because of their own problems or insecurities. Try to see the situation from their perspective. Maybe your colleague is also going through a tough time. By responding with empathy, you can not only avoid conflict but also help the person. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle, said Plato. Simply say, "I understand your point of view," and walk away. This is not weakness but strength and wisdom. Conflicts are rarely resolved with shouting and accusations. Better to remain silent than to add fuel to the fire, said Zeno. Let me share a story with you. Once I was in a meeting and one of the participants began to criticize my work very aggressively. My first impulse was to respond in the same spirit, but I remembered Marcus Aurelius's words and decided to remain calm. I listened to the criticism, thanked them for their opinion, and suggested discussing solutions. In the end, we found common ground and resolved the issue. If I had given in to my emotions, the situation could have ended in conflict. Friends, remember that provocations are a test of our strength of spirit and mind. Every time you remain calm, you become stronger. Do not respond to provocations, for it makes you stronger. Remember these wise words of Marcus Aurelius. Share in the comments how you deal with provocations. Perhaps your story will help someone find their path to calmness and wisdom. 2. When you are angry. We have all faced situations where emotions overwhelm us and anger seems inevitable. But it is in these moments that we need to show wisdom and self-control. Seneca said, "Anger is a short madness." Let's understand how to deal with anger and not let it control our lives. Anger is a natural emotion that signals our boundaries have been crossed. However, it is important to remember that our reaction to anger is our choice. Marcus Aurelius said, "What matters is not the situation itself, but our attitude towards it." When you feel anger, stop for a moment and ask yourself, "Why am I angry? What can I do to change my perception?" There are many ways to calm down in moments of anger. One method is deep breathing. Take a deep breath in for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and slowly exhale for 4 seconds. Repeat this several times until your pulse slows down and your thoughts become clearer. Epictetus said, "We cannot change external circumstances, but we can change our reaction to them." When you are angry, it is important to separate your reaction from your actions. Instead of immediately lashing out, try writing down your feelings or talking to someone you trust. This will help you understand your emotions and find a more constructive way to express them. A wise man thinks first then speaks. Marcus Aurelius. Sometimes the best way to deal with anger is to distract yourself. Engage in physical activity, listen to music, or pursue a favorite hobby. This will help you calm down and see the situation from a new perspective. Wisdom is the art of not worrying about little things, taught Epictetus. Forgiveness is a powerful tool for releasing anger. By forgiving others, you free yourself from heavy emotions. Seneca said, "Forgiveness is the path to peace of mind." Try to see the situation through the eyes of the other person and understand their motives. Forgiveness does not mean you agree with their actions, but it allows you to move forward. Let me tell you a story. Once, while working on an important project, a colleague made a mistake that jeopardized all our work. I felt anger boiling inside me, but instead of shouting and blaming, I took a deep breath, drank a glass of water, and asked for a break. Returning after 10 minutes, I calmly discussed the situation with my colleague, and we found a solution together. If I had given in to anger, the situation could have ended in conflict and even bigger problems. Friends, anger is a powerful emotion, but our strength lies in the ability to manage it. Anger is a short madness. Remember these wise words of Seneca. Share in the comments how you deal with anger. 3. When you are uncertain about information. When you are unsure about the accuracy of information, it is better to remain silent. Wisdom is in recognizing when you do not know, said Epictetus. Mistakes and misinformation can do more harm than silence. In our age of information technology, with data constantly bombarding us, it is especially important to filter what we accept as truth. Epictetus said, "It does not matter what you know, but how certain you are of it." Let's understand why it is better to refrain from speaking when we are uncertain about information and how to act in such situations. When we spread false information, we can harm others and ourselves. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not spread lies, for they bring only harm." It is better to admit that you do not know something than to risk misleading others. When you come across new information, especially if it seems important or sensational, do not rush to share it. Find several reliable sources to confirm its accuracy. Truth does not fear scrutiny, said Seneca. Fact-checking is not only wise but also responsible. Sometimes our personal beliefs can influence our perception of information. Epictetus said, "Separate what you know from what you assume." If you are expressing your opinion, clarify that it is just your opinion, not a verified fact. This helps avoid misunderstandings and confrontations. Wisdom is in acknowledging your ignorance. "I know that I know nothing," said Socrates. This expression of humility and openness to new knowledge. If you are not sure about information, do not be afraid to say, "I do not know, but I can find out." This earns more respect than false certainty. It is important to choose verified and reliable sources of information. Scientific journals, official websites, expert opinions. All these help us be confident in what we say. "Truth is more important than opinion," said Marcus Aurelius. 4. When asked about others' personal lives. Friends, how often are you asked to share gossip? Remember that discussing someone else's personal life is disrespectful. Keep silent about what does not concern you, taught Epictetus. Respect others' secrets as your own. How do you respond to such requests? In our age of information and social media, it is easy to fall into the trap of gossip and rumors. However, the Stoics taught us to respect others' boundaries and be mindful of our words. Let's understand why it is important to maintain restraint in such situations and how to do it properly. Everyone has the right to privacy. By revealing others' secrets, we violate this right. Seneca said, "Respect others' secrets as your own." Respecting others' boundaries is a manifestation of our maturity and wisdom. Spreading personal information can have serious consequences. It can affect relationships, reputations, and even careers. Words can hurt more than a sword, taught Zeno. Think about the consequences of your words before sharing information about others. If you are asked about someone else's personal life, the best reaction is restraint. You can politely respond, "I do not think that is information for discussion." This shows your respect and maturity. Epictetus said, "A wise person speaks little but to the point." Restraint is not weakness but a sign of strength and respect. When the conversation turns to personal topics, try to change the direction of the conversation. Ask about something neutral or share an interesting fact. This helps avoid awkward questions and maintain good relationships. "The art of conversation is in switching topics," said Marcus Aurelius. "Be an example to others. If you do not spread gossip and rumors, people around you will start to respect your position and follow your example." "Be the change you want to see in the world," said Mahatma Gandhi. Your actions can inspire others to respect and restraint. 5. When someone shares their problems with you. When someone shares their problems with you, sometimes it is better just to listen. "Listen to understand, not to respond," said Zeno. In these moments, people need attention and support, not advice. How do you listen to your loved ones? In our lives, we often encounter situations where close ones or even strangers come to us for support and advice. In these moments, it is especially important to show wisdom and empathy. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." Let's understand how to listen and help others properly during tough times. Put aside all tasks and focus on the person. Listen not only to the words, but also to the emotions behind them. Give a person your attention, and you have already helped them halfway, said Epictetus. Showing that you care is the first step to providing support. It is important not to judge or criticize the person for their feelings or actions. The Stoics taught us to accept people as they are without judgment. Epictetus said, "No one can say what is right or wrong for another." Try to understand the situation from the person's perspective and avoid harsh evaluations. Allow the person to express their emotions, be it anger, sadness, or anxiety. Sometimes people just need to vent. Listen carefully, do not interrupt, and do not offer immediate solutions. Listen more than you speak, advised Seneca. This helps people understand their feelings and come to their own conclusions. When someone shares their problems, they are not always looking for solutions. Sometimes they just need understanding and support. You can offer help by saying, "I am here for you," or "If you need to talk, I am always here." Support is not always a solution, but presence, said Marcus Aurelius. Let the person feel they are not alone. If the person asks for your advice, try to be constructive and supportive. Offer ideas that might help, but do not impose them. Advise, but do not command, taught Epictetus. Advice should be based on experience and common sense, but the decision always remains with the person. Let me tell you a story. Once, a friend came to me with a serious problem at work. He was upset and did not know what to do. Instead of immediately offering solutions, I first listened carefully. I gave him the opportunity to express all his emotions and thoughts. Then I asked, "What do you think could help in this situation?" Together, we discussed several options, and in the end, he found the solution himself. If I had immediately offered my solution, he might have felt misunderstood. Friends, remember that when someone shares their problems with you, your main task is to be an attentive and supportive listener. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. These words of Marcus Aurelius remind us of the importance of empathy and understanding. Share in the comments how you help your friends and loved ones during tough times. Perhaps your story will inspire others on the path to wisdom and compassion. 6. When your opinion is not asked for. In our lives, situations often arise where we have our own opinion, but it is not always asked for. In such moments, it is important to show wisdom and tact. Seneca said, "To be heard is a privilege, not a right." Let's understand why sometimes it is worth keeping your opinion to yourself and how to do it properly. Before expressing your opinion, it is important to understand the context of the situation. Ask yourself, is it appropriate to share my opinion now? Perhaps people are discussing a topic in which you are not an expert, or your opinion may be irrelevant. Epictetus said, "Do not be intrusive in your advice." Sometimes it is better to observe and listen than to speak. Respect for others' opinions is a key principle of Stoicism. Even if you disagree, it is important to respect the right of others to their own opinions. Every person has the right to their thoughts, taught Marcus Aurelius. Do not rush to criticize or impose your opinion if you were not asked. Silence is also an answer. When your opinion is not asked for, it may be a signal that people want to figure things out on their own. Seneca said, "A wise person often remains silent but always thinks." Silence helps avoid conflicts and maintain harmony in communication. When you remain silent and listen, you have a unique opportunity to learn from others. Attentive listening can reveal new perspectives and ideas. A student must be ready to listen, not to speak, taught Zeno. Use these moments for personal growth and understanding. If you have a really important opinion or idea, choose the right time to express it. Ask, "Can I share my opinion?" This shows your respect for others and willingness to hear their reaction. Time and place are the keys to wisdom, said Marcus Aurelius. Let me tell you a story. Once at a family dinner, a political situation was being discussed, and I had a strong opinion about it. But I noticed that the conversation was already heated, and my intervention could only worsen the situation. Instead of intervening, I decided to listen to everyone and understand their points of view. After a while, when the conversation calmed down, I calmly asked, "May I share my opinion?" My opinion was heard, and the discussion continued in a more peaceful manner. If I had immediately started expressing my thoughts, it could have led to conflict. Friends, remember that our opinion is important, but even more important is when and how we express it. To be heard is a privilege, not a right. These words of Seneca remind us of the importance of wisdom and tact in communication. 7. When you are unsure about the correctness of your words, admitting that you are unsure of your words is the first step to wisdom. No one knows everything, and it's normal to have doubts. Doubt is the beginning of wisdom, said Socrates. If you are unsure about something, it's better to honestly say so than to risk spreading incorrect information. Use reliable sources and make sure your information is accurate. Truth does not fear verification, taught Seneca. This will help you be confident in your words and avoid unnecessary mistakes. When you are unsure of your words, use cautious phrasing. Instead of making categorical statements, say, "It seems to me," or "I think that." Words have power. Use them wisely, taught Marcus Aurelius. This will help you convey your thoughts without the risk of being misunderstood. Let me tell you a story. Once at work, I was asked a question about a new project, and I wasn't sure of the answer. Instead of giving incorrect information, I honestly said, "I'm not sure, but I can check and get back to you with an accurate answer." My colleague appreciated my honesty and respect for the facts. Later, after verifying the information, I was able to provide the correct answer, which strengthened our mutual trust. If I had tried to guess, it could have led to problems. Friends, remember that knowledge is power, but only when it is accurate. It doesn't matter what you know. What matters is how sure you are of it. These words of Epictetus remind us of the need to be responsible for our words. 8. When discussing something in the presence of strangers, In a world where privacy is becoming increasingly rare, it's important to remember what we say and how it may be perceived by others. Epictetus said, "A wise person thinks first and then speaks." Let's explore why it's important to be cautious in such situations and how to do it correctly. When discussing something in the presence of strangers, it's important to respect their personal space and comfort. Loud and personal conversations can disturb those around you. Respect others, and you will be respected, taught Marcus Aurelius. Think about how your words might affect those around you. Remember that discussing personal or confidential topics in public places can lead to undesirable consequences. Someone might overhear information you didn't intend to share. Wisdom is knowing when to stay silent, said Seneca. Keep personal discussions for more private settings. When speaking in the presence of strangers, be cautious with your words. Avoid gossip, criticism, and negative discussions about others. Words can wound more deeply than a sword, reminded Zeno. It's important to be positive and constructive in your conversations. Discussing religion, politics, or other controversial topics in public places can lead to conflicts and misunderstandings. Don't start a fire where there could be a blaze, said Epictetus. If you need to discuss such topics, do so in an appropriate setting and with respect for others' opinions. Pay attention to the reactions of people around you. If you notice someone looking uncomfortable or irritated, it might be a good idea to change the topic or speak more quietly. Be mindful of how your actions affect others, taught Marcus Aurelius. Respecting those around you helps avoid conflicts and misunderstandings. Share your stories in the comments. How do you behave when discussing something in the presence of strangers? What methods help you maintain respect and caution? Let's inspire each other on the path to wisdom and self-improvement. 9. When you want to boast. In a world where social media constantly reminds us of others' successes, it's easy to fall into the temptation of boasting. However, as Epictetus taught, modesty adorns a person. Let's understand why it's important to remain humble and how to do so. When you want to boast, it's important to remember to respect those around you. Your achievements might provoke envy or feelings of inadequacy in others. Modesty is respect for the feelings of others, said Marcus Aurelius. Think about how your words might affect those around you. Humility is a quality that attracts people to you and earns their respect. True strength lies in humility, taught Seneca. People appreciate those who remain humble despite their achievements. Your actions speak louder than any words. Instead of boasting about personal successes, focus on collective achievements. Acknowledge the contributions of others to your success. We are strong because of each other, reminded Zeno. This helps create an atmosphere of respect and cooperation. When the desire to boast arises, try expressing gratitude for what helped you achieve success instead. Gratitude is the path to true happiness, said Epictetus. Gratitude makes you more appealing and open to others. Often the desire to boast comes from a need for recognition. Try to find satisfaction in the process of achieving goals rather than in external recognition. The true reward is inner satisfaction, taught Marcus Aurelius. This will help you remain humble and focused on your goals. Let me tell you a story. Once, my colleague achieved great success in a project. Instead of boasting about his achievements, he invited the whole team to dinner and expressed gratitude to each person for their contribution to the project's success. His humility and acknowledgement of others made him even more respected in the team. This incident reminded me that humility and gratitude make us stronger and attract people to us. 10. When you are tired or emotionally drained. In a world full of constant stress and demands, it is crucial to learn how to take care of yourself and your emotions. Epictetus said, "Your soul is your fortress. Take care of it." Let's understand why it's important to rest and recharge and how to do it correctly. The first step to recovery is acknowledging that you are tired or emotionally drained. Often we try to ignore our feelings and keep working, but this only makes things worse. Do not deny your feelings, taught Marcus Aurelius. Acknowledge your fatigue and give yourself permission to rest. Physical exhaustion is closely linked to emotional state. Regular sleep, proper nutrition, and physical exercise are key elements of health. A healthy mind in a healthy body, said Epictetus. Take care of your body and it will help you cope with emotional stress. It is important to find time for emotional unloading. Find activities that bring you joy and help you relax. This could be reading, walking in the fresh air, meditating, or engaging in creative activities. Unload your soul as you unload a cart, reminded Seneca. This will help you regain strength and find inner balance. Avoid situations and people that cause you stress and drain your emotions. Try to minimize contact with negative factors and focus on positive aspects of life. Protect your soul from poison, taught Zeno. This will help you maintain emotional health and resilience. Do not hesitate to ask for help when you need it. Reach out to friends, family, or professionals if you feel you cannot cope on your own. Strength lies in acknowledging your weaknesses, said Marcus Aurelius. Support from loved ones and professionals will help you find the strength to recover. Friends, remember that taking care of yourself is not selfishness, but a necessity. Your soul is your fortress. Take care of it. These words of Epictetus remind us of the importance of rest and recovery. Share in the comments how you cope with fatigue and emotional exhaustion. Perhaps your story will help someone find the right path. Subscribe to the channel, like, and thank you for being with us. Remember, our strength lies in our minds and our words. See you next time, friends.